There are currently 6 Premium Warbonds in Helldivers 2. Steeled Veterans, Cutting Edge, Democratic Detonation, Polar Patriots, Viper Commandos, and most recently Freedom's Flame. The question is, which ones are actually worth buying? Which ones contain items that most Helldivers can't live without, and which ones contain mostly, trash? Well, since I own and have thoroughly tested every single Premium Warbond in the game, this is the most essential Premium Warbonds in Helldivers 2. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, and really the most important part of this video, is to go over the 3 Warbonds that I think every single player should have. The 3 most essential Warbonds. Okay, so number 1 is by far the Steeled Veterans Warbond. So this has the Breaker Incendiary, which is an anti-bug weapon, basically the best anti-bug weapon in the game. And it's got the Dominator, which is arguably the best anti-bot weapon in the game. And therefore, that makes this Warbond essential for both bug and bot players. It's just incredible. And even if you don't use these weapons all the time, I think they're sort of must-haves for all players. The Breaker Incendiary is such a powerful anti-bug weapon, and you can pretty much fit it into any of your loadouts. Like, it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of what kind of loadout you want to take with you. So I think it's just a must-have for bug players. And then on the other side, if you're a bot player, you need to have the Dominator. The Dominator just absolutely cleans up Devastators, Berserkers. It can kill Striders. I mean, it really is just good against every single bot in the game. So just for that reason alone, those 2 weapons, the Steeled Veterans Warbond is number 1. It's just your first buy. You have to buy it. Okay, and then the second on the list is Cutting Edge Warbond. So this one has the Sickle and the Stun Grenade. Oh, both of those every player needs to have. The Sickle is an infinite ammo, light armor penetrating machine gun weapon that is incredible. I mean, you could use it against bugs and bots. It's so good. And then you've got the Stun Grenade, which it doesn't matter if you're playing against bugs or bots. This is a must-have. It's just, it can allow you to kill charges with just your primary weapon. I mean, if you have a Breaker Incendiary and a Stun Grenade, you can kill a charger in like 6 or 7 shots. 1 Stun Grenade and 6 or 7 shots of your Breaker Incendiary kills the charger. So you don't even need to bring a rocket with you. You don't need EATs, you don't need Commandos, you don't need anything. So Cutting Edge is number 2, just for the Sickle and the Stun Grenade. And then number 3, kind of ties into the Stun Grenade a bit, is the Democratic Detonation Warbond. So this one is absolutely essential just because of one item, the Grenade Pistol. The Grenade Pistol is something that if you take the Stun Grenade, you won't have any method of closing bug holes or fabricators because Stun Grenade doesn't close them. And so you kind of need the Grenade Pistol to do that. So I think basically anyone who owns Cutting Edge and who's using the Stun Grenade, you need Democratic Detonation as well. You have to take the Grenade Pistol kind of if you want to be versatile, especially if you're playing on your own, because you're not going to be able to close bug holes or fabricators really at all if you're playing on your own. So you're going to need the Grenade Pistol for those. There are other really good items in that Warbond, like the Adjudicator, which I think is probably the best all-purpose weapon in the game. And so that kind of makes this Warbond additionally valuable. But Grenade Pistol by far is the most important part of it, and that's the thing that makes it essential. Okay, and then, so those are the 3 essential ones: Steel Veteran, Cutting Edge, Detonation, in that order. And then, if I was going to choose from the other 3, the first on the list would have to be Viper Commandos, and that is really just because of the Peak Physique armor. Peak Physique is totally unique in the game, and it allows you to use weapons like the Dominator, or like the heavy machine gun, or the machine gun, or the auto cannon, which are really heavy and take a lot of time to bring to bear on target. It allows you to use them like they're a primary weapon. You just swing them around really, really quickly. So it also gives you extra melee damage, but who cares about that? The most important part of that is the movement of your weapon. It completely revolutionizes the Dominator. So if you're a Dominator user, or you like to use the machine gun or other heavy stratagem weapons, then you pretty much need to have peak physique armor. So I would say it's number 1 on the optional Warbonds list just for that item alone. Okay, the next one on that list is Freedom's Flames. That's the newest Warbond. And that one is really, really good just for, well, for 2 items, really. The Cookout, which is, I would say, maybe a Breaker Incendiary replacement. So it's an incredibly good shotgun, similar to the Punisher, but it does flame damage. I think it's one of the best guns in the game. It's so much fun to use. And then also the Inflammable Armor that gives you, I think, 75% resistance to fire damage. And so if you like using fire weapons, if you like using the Flamethrower or any of the other fire weapons or the Napalm Airstrike, you're going to really want this Warbond. I mean, just for that armor alone, it's so good. But very optional. You don't need it. The Cookout has sort of an alternative, which is the Punisher or the Breaker Incendiary. You can kind of take either of those, and it's like a similar role. And then the flammable armor, I mean, how often do you get burned anyway? And if you do get burned, you can just jump on the ground or heal yourself. So it's not essential, but it is good, and it's really fun as well. And then the last one on the list, probably the worst Warbond, I would say, and I'd say most people would agree with this, is Polar Patriots. So Polar Patriots has the Purifier, which I personally really like. It also has the Incendiary Impact Grenades, which, again, I really like. And then the Motivational Shocks booster, which is good, but yeah, it's not worthless. But anyway, none of these items are essential, and so I really have to put it at the bottom of the list. I do like all of them, and I do use them. I use the Purifier, I use the Incendiary Impact. I don't really use Motivational Shocks because there's better options like stamina and, you know, everything. But yeah, I would say it's probably the worst. It's the least essential, put it that way, of all the Warbonds. Okay, so that's our list. We've got the top 3 essentials, and then we've got the top 3 optionals. Now I just want to do some honorable mentions and talk about some of the items in all of those Warbonds that are really good and that some players might be really interested in, that might make you want to actually buy those Warbonds. But first, a huge shout out to ExpressVPN. If you've ever wanted to play games in a different region or browse the web securely, ExpressVPN is how you do it. I can tell you from experience it 100% works, and honestly, the ping's actually decent too. And right now, every single Mogz viewer is gonna get a huge discount of 3 months off all 12-month subscriptions, meaning it just got a whole lot cheaper for you to jump into a different region and destroy your opponents over there. How good is that? So go check out ExpressVPN via the link on screen and in the video description. So in the first one, the Steeled Veterans Warbond, so we've got the Breaker Incendiary and the Dominator, which are essential. Then it has Incendiary Grenade, which I think I mentioned earlier, which are good and interesting. So some players might really want it if you want to create a fire build, or if you just like fire grenades, you might want them. And then it's got the Senator, which is one of the only medium armor penetrating sidearms in the game, the other one being the Crisper, which is the fire sidearm that we just got in the Freedom's Flame Warbond. And so for that reason, yeah, that it might make the Steeled Veterans even more valuable. If you're looking for a medium armor penetrating sidearm, you might want to get the Steeled Veterans just for that. So those are kind of the honorable mentions. I don't think any other items in the Steeled Veterans are particularly good. So yeah, it's just those 4 are the kind of main ones. Then we've got the Cutting Edge Warbond, which again has the Sickle and the Stun Grenade, which are the essential items. And then it's got a few other really good items as well. The Punisher Plasma is a really unique weapon and good against bugs and good against bots. I think particularly good against bots. And then we've got the Blitzer, which is the only lightning primary weapon in the game, and so it's completely unique in that way. And is an incredibly powerful weapon against bugs. I think it's one of the best bug weapons, really. Really good shotgun, and it's got so much stagger, so good crowd control, and That's an amazing shotgun. So I could have even put that on the essentials list. I don't think it is absolutely essential because there are items that do kind of a similar thing, like maybe the Punisher shotgun is kind of similar. So I don't think that one's essential, but it is very, very good. Then we've got the only laser sidearm in the game, the dagger. So you might want if you want a laser build, you're going to want the dagger. And then we've got the unique armor, which is the arc armor, which gives you 95% resistance to arc damage. So it's really good if your teammates have arc weapons, if they're running the arc thrower or something like that, or even the Tesla coil. You're going to want that. So those are some honorable mentions. I think the Blitzer's kind of on the edge. I think, the Blitzer could be essential. Okay, so then next one is Democratic Detonation. So this is an interesting one. So this has the grenade pistol, which is the essential item, but then it has the Adjudicator, which I think is the best all-round primary weapon in the game. This is a weapon that I just did a video about. I've done a couple of videos about it, actually, and I really highly rate it. I think it's so good at its role, which is as an all-round weapon. It does medium armor penetration, it does long range, it does short range, it's a good emergency weapon, it's good against bugs, it's good against bots. It's really just the best all-round weapon in the game, in my opinion. And so it could be essential. I mean, if you're looking for that kind of weapon that gives you huge amounts of flexibility in your build, the Adjudicator might be essential. So that's up to you to decide. I don't think it's essential. I think it's very good, though. And then the last one that is an honorable mention for me in this one is the Eruptor. So I don't personally use it. It's kind of a grenade launcher type of primary weapon. And it's quite unique in that way. It's similar to the Punisher Plasma. It's kind of a grenade type of weapon. And so you might love it. I mean, if you're looking for that kind of like explosive primary weapon with a really low rate of fire, but lots of damage, you might love that. So that's just one honorable mention for that. Then we've got the Viper Commandos. And so the main one there was the Peak Physique armor. But I think an honorable mention could be the Experimental Infusion Booster. This is probably one of the most popular boosters. I see it in every mission, basically. So you don't really need this because there's probably going to be someone in your team that takes it, but it's a really good booster that gives you an extra speed boost and stuff and more stamina, I think, when you're use your booster. It adds an extra effect to your booster, so it's really cool. Not essential at all, and as I said, most people have it, so yeah, but it's very unique, and it's good to have. So I think that's a really good honorable mention for that Warbond. Then we've got Freedom's Flame, which has the Crisper, so it's the only fire sidearm in the game. It's got the Torture, which is the only fire primary weapon in the game. And then it's got the really interesting booster, which is the Firebomb Hellpods, which gives you a fire effect around your drop pods. And so it's a really good, it's just a fully flame themed Warbond. So if you really want to build a flame build loadout, this Warbond's essential, really. I mean, it's incredible. Everything is flame themed in it, so it's crazy. And obviously it's got the cookout and the inflammable armor, which are I think borderline essential for what they do. I mean, they're so good. So those are the honorable mentions for that one. And then the last Warbond on the list is Polar Patriots, which I mean, I kind of mentioned everything I wanted to mention about this one, which was Purifier, Incendiary Impact, Motivational Shocks. Those are really the main items. The pistol is no good in that Warbond. I don't think I've seen anyone use it. And it's got the Pummeler, which I think is overrated. I don't see much value in that after it got nerfed. But some people love it. Some people absolutely love the Pummeler. But yeah, I personally don't think it's really worth it. But that could be really controversial. It's not that I think it's bad. I just think it's kind of overrated. But yeah, that's it. So the 3 essential Warbonds: Steel Veteran, Cutting Edge, Democratic Detonation, and then the 3 optionals: the Viper Commandos, Freedom's Flame, and then Polar Patriots at the bottom. I really hope that was helpful. Let me know down below if you guys found this video helpful, if you want more videos like this. I just thought it was an interesting style of video where I just casually talk about all of the Warbonds and give you all of my knowledge about all of them, because I have used all of these pretty extensively, and I've bought all of them as soon as they launched, and I've used all of them quite a bit. So yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. I know a lot of people are on the fence about certain Warbonds and they don't know where to spend their super credits. It's difficult to get super credits, so I want to help you guys to spend them wisely. So yeah, hit the like button if the video was helpful in you making a decision, and hit the dislike button if it wasn't helpful. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.